Welcome to Valley Rams World. This is Gwyn Davis, the main man behind the Valley Rams. We're going to ask him some questions today. Gwyn, how many years have you supported Cardiff City?
Well, 49 this week actually, and my first recollection of home game would be possibly about 9 or 10 years old, just coming down with all the lads on the buses from Aberdeen. And it went on from there. My first away game, I was 11. I went to see Stoke City in the FA Cup, and Gordon Banks was in goal, that's how old I am. And I was hooked, absolutely hooked. We lost 4-1 or 4-0, I think it was. I remember 2 weeks later, Cardiff were playing Charlton away in London. I was only 11. I said to my mother, "Mum, I'm going to watch Cardiff and Charlton." And she thought no more of it, thinking it was in Cardiff. But I just jumped on a red and white bus down to Cardiff, jumped on a train to London, and I hadn't been out to South Wales. Jumped on a train to London at the age of 11 on my own, got a train to Charlton. No place existed called Charlton. That was a bit of a worry, but we got there. And I was just hooked. I was hooked from there on, so possibly 39 years.
How did you get involved with the Rams and how did you become the leader?
People say lead. I don't think of myself as a leader, because I don't think any of us need leading. We're just a group basically, and I see myself as a spokesman. I would never say I was a leader, and I don't think we need leading. I got involved with the Rams because we've always been the Rams. From the age of 13, I organised my first bus to an away match when I was 13. I run a bus as a 13-year-old to Blackpool. And what we've done, we've always been there, it's just we haven't been organised, In Aberdeen I would run a minibus or a transit van to most games. Every now and then we'd have a big bus. But organising one bus from one area is a nightmare. You either got 6 people too many or 6 people less, and it's an awkward problem, and I'd never do this again. We've had all this. And then one year we went to Shrewsbury, 4 or 5 years ago, on a Tuesday night. We went up in the people car, there, about 8 or 9 of us. And we worked out there was 60 people there from Aberdeen Tuesday night. Oh, didn't know you were going. No, I didn't know you were going. And they went up in a car, this one went up in a minibus, some caught a train. I thought, this is absolute crackers. So I phoned Big Sam. We all knew one another around the valleys, loosely. So I phoned Big Sam and said, look, why don't we see if we're getting a bus between Rhondda and Merthyr, 3 valleys which are close together. Let's get a bus, see if we get one bus to an away match. So I said, I'll bring 6 people from Aberdeen, you bring 6 from Merthyr, we'll get 6 boys from the Rhondda. Sam knew what people I did in the Rhondda. So we arranged to meet in Pontypridd, I'm smiling to myself thinking about it now. We arranged to meet in Pontypridd in Shopkin Cricket Club. The plan was, we'd be 18 of us there, and we'd sit down and just put pen to paper. Well, I turned up in the car, I think it was half a dozen of us in 2 cars, turned up at Shopkins Cricket Club, and I could see Merv Pearson running out in a bath of sweat, panicking. That Sam had stitched me up again. He said, so Sam, but Big Sam had circulated to everyone that Sam a man was coming to this first meeting now. So I turned up expecting to see 18 people, and there was 200 people there. So instead of a 5'4" Lebanese businessman, there's a 6'6" dopey Welshman, and I always say this, that the Rams were born. I was tempted to jump in the car and just get back home, but I thought, no, let's front it up. And I used to be fairly shy of talking and things like that in meetings or whatever. I would never get up and talk, but it was forced on me, it was an accident, and it worked out well. But once we started off, everyone was over like mine, and it's just snowballed from there. Everyone. It was just a case of lighting the fire. The fire was already built. It's just a case of chucking the match on. But as we said in another interview, some of the boys said it's the reps of the lifeblood. All I see myself as what I've been as a rep in the area before in Commandment and Aberdeen where I live. People would know Gwyn always goes to the match. I'll give him a ring, see how he's getting up there, this thing. And these people have always been there. All we've done is gone together, organised them, and take responsibility basically.
Gwyn, the coming season will be the 4th season of the Rams' existence. Where do you see us going from here?
When we started off, it was quite apparent that we had to start off with a different sort of, not different image, but if we had to start off like a typical Welsh committee and had chairman and vice chairman and treasurers and minute secretaries and rules or whatever, it wouldn't have taken off after the first night. The sort of people who were interested were people who love Cardiff City but ate authority to an extent, not in a bad way, but ate the red tape. So we started off loosely, without too many rules, but what we've done over the last 3 years is become established. You know, we are part of the establishment now, and that don't make it any less for being establishment. We're organised, but it's a natural progression. We couldn't start off with all the rules, but people realise by having rules and sticking to certain rules, we have a better time. You know, we all have a like mind. We all love Cardiff City. The majority of us like a drink and like socialising. We look out for one another. You know, but what we can't do is stand by and let people darken the image of Cardiff City. Now, in the past, you know, if they knew Cardiff would come in any area, they would board up the pubs and the service stations. Now we've managed to change that, and we want to change it even more. We've got pubs now who actually welcome us into the premises now, which is great. It was getting to the stage you felt like a leper if you were a Cardiff City fan. Now if we go to a pub and there's 100 of us there and 2 people want to cause trouble, they've got to fight 98 of us because we won't let them cause trouble. And that's the main thing now. The majority of people who like a bit of fun, like a drink and love Cardiff City, don't want a bad image, they don't want to cause trouble. And we're helping to solve that problem. It doesn't mean that you become the school ponce or the prefect or the Mr. Perfect. It just means that we do what we've always done. It's that some people have spoiled it for us in the past and we're not prepared to let people spoil it. I think we're going to get more and more organised as we go along. We're going to be in the Premiership in a couple of years in a brand new stadium. We need to be more organised to help the club. You know, I see us helping the club, but also helping the fans. We don't agree with everything the club does, and people seem to think that the club say jump and we say oh aye. It doesn't work like that. We are down here fighting for the fans' cause all the time. We are fans. You know, I love what Sam has done to the club. I'm his biggest fan, but if he tried to do us down, I'd be his biggest enemy because Cardiff City to me is more important than anything. And we fight for the fans. You know, we've got a voice here now. We've always had voices as fans, but we've never been heard. Now people have got organised channels to go through, not just us, the supporters club. My attitude has always been, if you don't like something, you've got to get in there and change it and do things about it, rather than just sit at home and moan. And that's what's so frustrating. You see people on the internet or writing into the Echo with negative articles, and they complain and moan, but they do nothing else. They don't contribute, or they don't do any positive suggestions. If you don't like something, get in and change it. You know, I've been proved wrong many times. You know, I've had visions and images which I think are right, but when I speak to other people, I think I'm on my own. So obviously, I'm out of sync with other people, and that's a lesson. You know, we all might think we've got the answers, but until you speak to other people, it doesn't mean you've got the right answers.
How do you think the Rams have helped solve the hooligan issue in the last few years?
Well, I've touched on that a bit earlier by saying, you know, in the past, if it'd been you'd have to be a brave man if you're in a pub and you see 4 or 5 people causing trouble to stand up and say, whoa, you know, you think, well, there's 4 causing trouble, another 50 maybe behind them and jump on my back. Now you've got the confidence to know that if you stop people causing trouble, you'll have 90 people helping you, not against you. And you know, when we did the fans charter, we were instrumental in putting the fans charter together after the Leeds United match. We don't think Leeds United, well, we know Leeds United wasn't as bad as portrayed, but it was quite obvious that the media and the press were out to tarnish our image. We are different here. We're very powerful, we're very passionate, we're Welsh. You know, they like to do us down. We beat the top team in the Premiership. They wanted to tarnish image. People were talking about the great victory. They were talking about the violence. And, you know, I didn't see a punch from all night. I didn't see anyone hit. You know, what in other areas was a celebration down here was a riot in people's eyes. But we got the charter together to say to people, look, you know, that wasn't violent, but we won't stand by and let fans cause problems. To me, hooliganism is people who damage things, cause problems, throw things. What is all that about, you know? Hooliganism isn't down an occasional drink and shouting your head off and being passionate. That isn't hooliganism. Damage and violence is hooliganism. You know, we won't be part of that. We can still enjoy your match and have a drink and have the passion, which is what we want. But you know, we have organised fans of a like mind to be the majority, and give the majority a voice. So hopefully we can keep on doing that. We're never going to be the public school boy, rah Cardiff type lads. We don't come from that background, but I think what we're doing hopefully is positive. We're not everyone's cup of tea, and we've got detractors, but I'm happy with what we're doing and what we're trying to do.
Do you think we should support England in Euro 2004?
But if you mean as an official organisation, I don't know. Personally, I think it's a personal decision. We've all got our favourites, you know. I've suddenly gone mad on the Greeks. I love the way they play football, and I like the underdogs to win or whatever. I've got no axe to grind with English football. The axe I've got to grind with is the English media, and I think this is where they fall down. This is why so many people, you know, you're either a Man United fan or dead against Man United. It's the same with England a bit. I think they build themselves up, the media portray them so highly that people want to see them fall flat. And if England ever play Scotland, Ireland or Wales, well obviously Wales, but if they play England or Scotland, I always want to see Ireland or Scotland. I want to see Ireland or Scotland win because they're the minnows. But we're all British. I've got no big axe to grind. And, you know, part of me wants them to win every match. Part of me would love to see them win the European Cup. But it's the media and the things that go with it. I don't think they play fair, you know. It's, if England win, it's a big English victory. If England lose, it's a disaster for British football, and that's the thing that sticks in the throat, really. But it's a personal thing, you know. I wouldn't run around with an English flag, but I wouldn't tear one down either. It's a personal decision, and it depends who they play from game to game, basically.
Do you think Russia should have been kicked out of the tournament?
Definitely. You know, I played sport at high level as individual in judo, and I played high level at rugby, and what each country should do and each sport should do is to make it clear what Russia, not every federation, should do is to do their own testing, because if one person is found guilty of taking drugs in a team, then the whole team should suffer. If that individual wants to take the risk of getting his whole country and his whole nation through the tournaments, then if he makes that decision, he should be found out before he gets on the pitch by his own federation. Their own federation should be testing them. At the end of the day, it's only one person was caught, with only 2 people tested. That's 50%. So how many others? You know, there's no room for cheats. If it's a team game, then everyone takes the applause and everyone takes the punishment as well, I'm afraid. So yeah, I think they should have been thrown out, but they should have tightened up before, not afterwards.